Right when it hits 9:15.
Okay. It just hit 9:15.
All right, and we're live.
Well, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to Wars in the Stars Reacts, Episode 1. Today, Alex and I are going to, watch the Eternals trailer, we'll say. Alex specifically had a very busy day. I told Alex that the trailer would come out today. He didn't believe me. My sources again served me right. By the way, my sources are Twitter and Daniel RPK, which everybody knew he's the most credible guy for these Marvel stories. So, we got the trailer. We got it at like 3 a.m. Eastern. I woke up and I'm like, the Eternals trailer is already out. What is happening?
I found out on TikTok. I saw Theories by T's like Eternals trailer breakdown. I was just like, okay, whoa, stop.
Right. So, Alex and I are going to watch it. We're going to break down our favorite parts that we saw from the trailer and have a whole discussion about it. So, without further ado, Alex, if you're ready, we can get right into it.
I am. You ready? We're on separate.
All right, you ready?
So we have to 3, 2, 1 this, okay? All right. 3,
sure. Let's go.
2, 1, and let's go.
Five years ago, Thanos erased half of the population of the universe. But the people of this planet brought everyone back with a snap of a finger. The sudden return of the population provided the necessary energy
I love the music of the
Oh,
for the
trailer.
emergence to begin.
Yes, I do too. Okay, pause it right here real quick with the emergence thing. So basically we know the enemies of this movie are the Deviants, correct? So I assume the emergence is the rebirth of the Deviants on Earth. I'm not sure. What do you have for theories on that?
I think that's exactly it. Probably just their reemergence.
Right. Yeah, which is really, it's really fascinating to me that Endgame is the cataclysmic event that causes the Eternals' enemy to come to Earth.
Yeah. Which
So,
also, this trailer had a lot to do, but couldn't reveal too much. I think this trailer honestly had a pretty good happy medium of explaining things. Why are they here now? And I honestly was like, what would be something that was just like, that would bring them out of hiding? Like Thanos wasn't big enough of a thing, but no, we find out that that they couldn't, come back, which I think we'll get into later when they actually explain why. So.
Right. All right. So let's get right back into it.
3, 2, 1. Oh, hold on. I full screen by accident. There we go.
How long do we have?
Obviously, a biblical reference here with 7 days.
Yes.
We're eternal.
Okay, pause it on this part where so
On
it
what
looks
part?
like here they get in their
On what part?
where they get in their powers.
Okay,
It
okay,
looks like they get in that stone thing.
Oh, which, by the way,
So,
freaks me out.
Okay, so it's been okay. This is a little. This might be spoilerly. I don't know. It might be contain some spoilers from streams I was watching today from people's breakdowns. So I think basically the Eternals might be AI, artificial intelligence, or robots. I think they were just given their powers by the Celestials. We already know they were created by the Celestials, but I don't think they're human. I think they're artificial intelligence. I don't think there's anything human about them at all. I was wondering, do you like that decision? Because I don't know.
I would prefer them to just be normal people. It just...
Yeah, I think I think an interesting story would be that they're normal people that were taken from Earth, that were given powers and then sent back to Earth. But if they want to go this route, I don't mind. So
Right.
I guess let's get right back. Yeah. I guess let's get right back into
Let me
it.
get everything back online. Hold on. Yep, okay. Alright, 3, 2, 1.
We came here 7,000 years ago
7,000 years, baby.
Yeah.
to protect humans from the deviants.
The cinematography is great in this trailer.
Yes.
Icarus is basically
I
Superman.
was gonna say, Superman of the
throughout
MCU.
history.
instructed not to interfere in any human conflicts unless deviants are
All
involved.
right, pause right here. So
Okay, yeah.
we find out now why they could not interfere. It's because they were told, don't, unless it has to
Right.
do with the deviants. Which
Right.
I don't know. It's a little hard to be like, how could the Celestials not know that the Infinity Stones snapping could bring these things back? So I don't know. I feel like there's more explanation for this movie going forward. But yeah, I think also we kind of touched on it. But the whole 7 days thing, typically I'm not a fan of movies that do this thing where it's like, oh, we have X amount of time to do X, Y, and Z, or else so and so will happen. But I think this could be a very interesting thing with the Eternals. And yes, Icarus, he's Superman now, which is bizarre. I'll say that. What do you think about Superman Icarus?
I think Icarus is gonna honestly probably become one of my favorite characters in the MCU. I really enjoyed him in this trailer, as I did with Cersei.
Yeah.
Really cool character. Is this the same? If I'm not mistaken, this is the same character who becomes the leader of the Avengers, right? At some point in the comics, Black Knight.
I'm not 100% sure, but it is joked about how he could lead the Avengers. So.
Right, and then we also, to go back to your the thing why they couldn't interfere. So this kind of changes Thanos' origin story, where Thanos was part deviant. So if Thanos was part deviant, then they could have gone after Thanos theoretically. So I don't think Thanos is a deviant. I'm not sure what you think about that. Do you agree with that? Or?
I think that changes his backstory. I don't think he's an Eternal anymore. I don't think he's a deviant in the MCU anymore.
Right.
I also think it was done specifically for that plot reason of like, yeah, if Thanos still was a deviant, then there's now even bigger questions of like, where were these guys for all of this? So.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. I think that they had to change Thanos' backstory just because of if he was a deviant, that would make too many issues. So I
Correct.
don't like the decision to change his backstory from the comics, but it makes sense for the MCU. Why? So.
Definitely, I totally agree with that. So, do you want to continue?
Yep. 3, 2, 1. Hit that go.
By who?
Oh, pause again.
All right, pause.
The Celestial.
Yeah, this is terrifying.
Yes.
This is terrifying.
He is huge.
The music, everything. So we first see a celestial in Guardians with the Power Stone, when the Collector shows us the Infinity Stones. But I'm not sure what this celestial is called, but it is very frightening. I don't know if they talk or not. I'd like to see. So this looks like an actual conversation that Cersei is having with the Celestial. It looks like the same exact shot. So I'm wondering, what happens if the Eternals do interfere? And that would be an interesting storyline if we get an Eternals sequel and a trilogy, which I most likely think happens.
What if we get them in What If? Like a What If season 2 of like, what if the Eternals interfered with Thanos?
Maybe. Definitely. But just like for now, I am just wondering what happens to them. Do the Celestials destroy Earth? Do they destroy the Eternals themselves? Like, what happens? I have a lot of questions about that.
Need to know is that the Celestial that we see in Guardians with the Power Stone is not the first Celestial we see. We actually see one technically earlier in Guardians of the Galaxy as Nowhere is a Celestial.
Right.
It's the head of a dead Celestial. Which,
The severed head.
How did you do that? How would you do that?
Crazy. So the Celestials basically created the universe. So there would have had to been a powerful being that chopped one's head off. So again, I'm really I'm going off on a little tangent here, but I love this cosmic side of Marvel. We got it a little bit with Captain Marvel, but it's definitely being expanded
Okay,
upon
so
here. So
this this Celestial is Isan the Searcher.
Esau the Searcher. Okay, you sure about that?
Yes, I just googled it.
Is that the red one? It's the red one. Okay, it's cool.
My stuff.
Okay, I was making sure. You ready?
Yep, 3, 2, 1, go. November still, baby.
We need to find the others.
Yeah.
I haven't seen some of them for centuries.
Hi.
Hello.
This is what the end of the world looks like. At least we have front row seats.
You know what's never saved the planet? Your sarcasm.
Okay, pause right here. So, you know the guy, the Asian guy from the first trailer who had those people around him at the camp with the white eyes? I thought he was going to be the bad guy of the movie. But now in this trailer, they're framing him to be a good guy.
Right. I honestly think that the villain probably will be a deviant, but I also think it's Ajak.
Really?
The lady we see with Icarus at the beginning of the movie. She's not in a lot of the shots in the future. She's in like the earlier shots when the Eternals are originally on Earth, and we'll get into my theory on that a little bit later, but that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. As far as we know, there is not a confirmed villain for the movie.
Right.
So I also want to ask you, since we're on the topic of villains, do you think that the Celestials could become the villains?
I think eventually in the trilogy, if Eternals is going to be a trilogy, they do trilogies with everything. I think eventually at some point the Eternals are going to want to break free, and maybe at the end of this movie we see a post-credit scene where they're like, "Oh, we got to go after the Celestials." So I think that's what could happen in Eternals 2 or 3. Not right now in this movie, but they're definitely. I think they're definitely setting something like that up.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. All right. Let's go.
We've loved these people since
Chloe Zhao.
we arrived.
Chloe Zhao.
When you love something, you protect it.
It's a cool shot right there. Yeah.
Superman up from the finger.
Can't protect.
Yes. Okay, so go back, stop, go to the 211 mark. That's another Celestial.
Looks like it.
It looks like he's creating a universe. If you look at his hands, which is crazy.
Yeah. Celestials are crazy, man. Crazy power.
Yeah, I'm excited. And it looks like the deviant's name is Crow, is Cairo,
Yeah.
Cairo. Yeah, I'm reading the subtitles right now. Okay, so let's continue. 3, 2, 1.
Superman again.
Yeah.
Any of them.
Look, he even flies like him.
Yeah. Eternals.
I bet you.
Great music. This
Well, what's this even made of? Vibranium?
Good job, Icarus.
Fall collection. IKEA.
November 5th, baby.
November.
Hopefully in theaters.
5th. Yes, hopefully. All right. That trailer, dude, it was good. I mean.
Yeah,
I
it
wanna say
really
this.
was.
I wanna say
Chloe's
this.
out.
I think I'm honestly now more excited for Eternals than Shang-Chi.
No, I think I always was. And that's no discredit to Shang-Chi. We heard some great things. We talked about that on Wednesday. But this movie, the way it's shot is fantastic because it's a lot of
it's so good.
natural. It's a lot of natural sunlight. They used a lot of natural lighting. we were so used to the CGI of the MCU that this movie does have the CGI, of course, but it's added on. It's not like just the main thing that you focus on. And I think this movie looks visually different. I don't say that often. A lot of the MCU looks formulaic. Black Widow, even Shang-Chi looks a little MCU. This feels different. And in a good way. And this is the third MCU team we've been introduced to. Obviously, the Avengers, the Guardians, and now the Eternals. These are the most powerful. I love the way their powers are shown. It's gold. Cosmic powers are gold. I think it looks beautiful. I'm really excited to see this movie.
I think, honestly, like, if you honestly think about it, a lot of the Eternals' powers are really just amped up known superhero powers. Again, I keep calling him Icarus is Superman. Come on, he flies like Superman does. He has the beams like Superman. Come on. I mean, even then, his costume's blue like Superman. The only difference is that he has no red and yellow on. He has gold on. So it's like, come on now. That's Superman. And again, we have a speedster in here. We have, I wouldn't say he's a reality warper. He's a matter warper is what he's called, where he can change the physical matter of something.
Is that Phastos?
Yes, that's when he turned the truck into rose petals. I think that's what he is in the comics. He's called a matter warper, not a reality warper, because he can't like erase things from reality.
And then we have the kid. What is the kid's name?
Sprite. Well, it's
Sprite. Invisible.
He's not a kid.
Right. 7,000 years old.
Well, no, even then, they're 7,000 years old. That's just how, I don't know if Sprite's a he or a she, so I'm going to refer they. That's just how they appear as a kid. I mean...
Right. So I think would be interesting is if they're all AIs except Icarus.
No, I don't think any of them should be. I think all of them should be like, kind of like have like the Winter Soldier in them, where they're like, they're not reprogrammed like Taskmaster, like a chip in the back of their neck. But they not again like a Winter Soldier like activation thing like inhibitor chips or something like that. They go there and it's like they are loyal to a fault to listen to them no matter what, to the Celestials. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see the Celestials honestly more than the Eternals themselves.
Very excited to see that.
Like, some of my favorite things about the MCU, it's my favorite thing about Star Wars is when it gets weird. And when it's not so streamlined, bad guy versus good guy, bad guy wins. Again, some of these Eternals look crazy. Like, again, if we're getting that size for that Eternal, or for Isam the Searcher, for how huge he was, I hope, honestly, that is a point of view shot of him. Because that man is massive.
Right.
Because I think another thing, although, again, at one point or another, What If is technically going to be non-canonical because the multiverse is going to be a wrapped-up thing. But as it stands right now, What If is a canon show. But let me ask you, do you think the Watcher is an Eternal? Or not an Eternal, a Celestial?
No. I don't think so. I think the Watcher's just a separate race.
I think also, when we look at this, we have to think about, with the Watcher in mind, who is the most powerful? Because when I think about it, it's like, is Kang or He Who Remains the most powerful? Is the Watcher the most powerful? Are the Celestial... I mean, again, if what we're thinking is right, there was a Celestial in this trailer creating a universe. Like, come on.
I think that, the Celestials, I think what they're going to go with is similar to the comics, where they created the universe itself. Yeah. In Loki, I would consider the TVA and He Who Remains the most powerful entity we've seen. So, I mean, He Who Remains doesn't have any powers, but he's literally the one created the timeline, making sure the timeline was the way it was. So I would consider the TVA and him the most powerful thing. Now that they're really gone and they're different now, the Celestials are the most powerful thing in the MCU. They literally created life, essentially.
Yeah. Well, they didn't create life.
The Watchers just watch things.
Well, even then, like, the Watcher has access to the multiverse. Like, everything.
True.
he knows the exact moment when what happened changed, and he knows why it changed. So I don't know. It's honestly pretty debatable because um, if you think about it, going forward for the MCU, there is no He Who Remains. There is everything from this point of the MCU. So um, depending on when Shang-Chi and Eternals and all that are placed, everything from Loki forward, so Falcon and the Winter Soldier, um, WandaVision, Shang-Chi again, depending on where it's placed, Eternals, Thor Love and Thunder, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, Spider-Man No Home. Those are all things that are unplanned events because now He Who Remains is not there to pave the way. So it's going to be interesting. I'm excited for this movie. I'm excited for
Yeah, I am. Yeah, the visually, again, the visuals of this movie are absolutely off the wall. I'm excited to explore more of the cosmic side of the MCU. You know, Alex and I are going to watch Captain Marvel here coming up, or rewatch it, excuse me, and that deals with the cosmic side, but it's not great,
it's also,
in my
it's
opinion.
also a very grounded thing because it's cosmic-esque because we spend a lot of the movie on Earth. So
Well, Eternals is going to be that case too, but I feel more that this is a cosmic movie just by their power set, by the dialogue, by the way they interact with humanity, just in their interaction. It feels more that they are cosmic entities because they can't interact with people. They can't stop terrible atrocities.
yeah, absolutely. Like, let me also tell you this. Let me ask you a question, okay? You know, Marvel fans are gonna debate. I honestly think, like, come on, the Eternals eventually are going to join up with the Avengers. They're gonna become Avengers. Is it hard? It's too hard to say because trailer footage is not enough. I think it is honestly safe to say every Eternal would beat any Avenger.
Oh, totally. The most powerful beings
Yeah, I literally
we've seen, I think.
Like, I'm not a fan of the whole blank solos blank or all of blank. Icarus would solo any other MCU character. Thor, Wanda, Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange, Captain America, even with Mjolnir. No. We literally see this man, Superman, fly throughout the place. Like,
Mm-hmm.
come on.
Right.
Or maybe he's a part of Hydra.
Yeah.
Maybe he's a part of Hydra. Hail Hydra!
Yeah. It was Red Skull all along.
Yes.
No. Yeah, Chloe Zhao,
Great.
fantastic. Feige said it was the best pitch that they've heard, and that Marvel Studios was amazed when they saw this movie. And I also kind of want to talk. My theory is that one of their own is the villain, and not just the deviants. It's Ajak, the one that we see, the lady we see talking to Icarus at the beginning of the trailer. We don't see her in the present day shots, so either she died or she's the villain. What do you think happens to her?
I don't know. I think it would be more interesting that the Eternal with the guys who he can like turn people's eyes white or whatever, like mind control them.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'd be a more interesting villain. But
The guy from the village.
yeah. So yeah.
So
Oh yeah, keep on.
So there's a little spoilery. There's a rumor that whole town was mind controlled. That would make sense with this power set. And I want to figure out why the Eternals just stopped being superheroes. I think the deviant threat must have been gone, obviously, but like, what was your life just to live it on their own? What was that like? I'd like to explore that.
Yeah, 7,000 years of places to go. But yeah, I think
Right.
honestly, I think it's very safe to say that I can't remember her name, but the girl and Icarus are gonna be the main two characters.
Cersei?
Yeah, Cersei.
Cersei?
And
Yeah.
then there's gonna be, well, I don't know. The first trailer really gave off a love triangle story, but this trailer did not give that off. So,
Right.
yeah, just that's where I'm at right now. I think Icarus and would you say her name was Zuri or whatever?
Cersei.
Yeah,
Cersei.
Sorry.
The one that talks to the Celestial. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I honestly think, like, do you think there's a Celestial that kind of represents each Infinity Stone? Because if you think about it,
Maybe.
because, like, you know, the purple one in Guardians had the Power Stone. So who knows? Maybe this red one has the powers of the Reality Stone and created a bunch of gods.
I'm interested to see it talk. Does it talk? It has to talk, right?
Yeah. Could you imagine if it just started like mumbling or like grunting?
But it's very terrifying. Like the music. Oh,
He's so good.
terrifying.
Yeah, love the music.
Yeah, and then
I'm excited.
there's one last thing I wanted to ask you about, and that's the shot with Thena and Cairo, or however you pronounce that, Deviant, the villain Deviant. So somebody, I think it was Straw Hat Goofy on TikTok, had a theory, and we kind of disagree with this already. We talked about it earlier with Thanos, that Thena and this Cairo person, it almost looked like a romantic thing. Not really, though, but like...
I'm gonna be real with you.
Do you think...
I don't know their names. I know Icarus and Sprite. That's it.
No, Thena is the one played by Angelina Jolie,
Okay.
the girl in the... Yes, the girl with the sword, and then the Deviant is the guy we see talking that wraps Thena around. I'm not sure what's up there.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. But, I mean, that's really all I got for my breakdown. You got anything else?
I'm excited. Can't wait for this movie now.
Yes, same. November the 5th. Alex and I will obviously have a recap of it when it comes out. Guys, thank you for watching this Eternals trailer reaction and breakdown. We will be back next Wednesday to re-review Iron Man 2 and talk about What If Episode 3. There are also 2 videos on the channel from yesterday's podcast talking about all the Star Wars news with Star Wars Visions, Kenobi, and Mando filming. And we also have another video that I uploaded from the podcast talking about What If Episode 2 with T'Challa. Until next Wednesday, we will see you all then. Peace.